Eli felt a shift in the air. Days after driving Silas away, the whispers became more erratic. They weren't just thoughts anymore. They felt like voices trying to break free. Each time he played, the whispers grew louder, forming a cacophony that threatened his sanity. One evening, while practicing in his room, the light flickered, and for a fleeting moment, he swore he saw Silas's shadow in the corner. Regina noticed his unease. "You need to rest, Eli. You're wearing yourself thin." Eli wanted to tell her about the shadow, but stopped himself. Instead, he buried his head in the journal, hoping it held answers to his unraveling mind. There, he found a cryptic note. "The gift is a bridge, but not all crossings are safe." The whispers in Eli's mind were no longer faint. They had grown sharp and intrusive, like shards of glass slicing through his thoughts. His victory over Silas had left scars, and every time he picked up the violin, the haunting echoes returned stronger than before. Regina urged him to rest, but Eli knew the whispers wouldn't let him. Malik became his confidant, grounding him as they tried to understand the journal's warnings. A passage about the crossroads caught their attention. "Where two worlds meet, the tether is strongest. Break the tether, and the bridge will collapse." Eli realized that the crossroads held the key to silencing the whispers. But the deeper they delved into the journal, the more ominous the warnings became. Something told Eli that Silas hadn't been defeated, merely delayed. Regina unearthed a box of her father's belongings, filled with photographs, sheet music, and faded letters. Among them was a photograph of a young Silas, standing beside Eli's grandfather. "He was always around," Regina said, her voice tinged with unease. Malik studied the photograph and pointed out something chilling. Silas hadn't aged a day. Eli's stomach turned as he realized Silas wasn't merely a man. He was something far older and more dangerous. The journal described Silas as a shadow between worlds, feeding off the energy of those with the gift. As Eli held the photograph, the whispers surged, and a voice hissed, "You're closer than you think." It was a warning, but also a challenge. Desperate for clarity, he reached out to Malik. Together, they devised a plan to delve deeper into the journal's warnings. Malik suggested visiting an old family friend, Ms. Lila, a mystic who had helped his grandmother once, hoping her insights could shed light on Silas's nature. But as they prepared to leave, a faint melody echoed from the violin on its own. Eli froze, realizing that Silas was far from done with him. The mystic's home was as enigmatic as ever, filled with the scent of sage and candlelight flickering against ancient relics. As soon as they entered her house, her piercing eyes studied Eli as he explained his gift and the presence of Silas. "You're not just hearing whispers," she said gravely. "You're opening doors that should remain closed. You've crossed into dangerous territory," looking at Eli with a mix of pity and admiration. She handed him an obsidian pendant, explaining it would protect his mind from being overwhelmed. Eli clenched the pendant, feeling its weight. "How do I stop him? Silas isn't just after your gift. He wants to use you to reopen the bridge," she warned. Eli felt the weight of her words, but refused to back down. "There's a place where your grandfather once played. A crossroads where the bridge between realms is strongest. But be warned. Confronting Silas there will require a sacrifice." Ms. Lila gave them directions to the crossroads, urging them to tread carefully. "What you face there isn't just Silas. It's everything he represents," she added ominously. The entrance to the crossroads was hidden beneath an old subway tunnel, forgotten by time. Eli and Malik descended into the darkness, their footsteps echoing against damp walls. The air grew colder, and the whispers returned, louder and more chaotic. The journal's map led them to a grand but decayed station. Its once vibrant murals faded with age. At the center was a stage bathed in an eerie golden glow, pulsing faintly as if alive. Eli approached cautiously, feeling the pull of the energy radiating from it. Malik stood close, his flashlight scanning the room, when a shadow shifted unnaturally. "He's here," Eli whispered, gripping his violin case. The battle was far from over. Silas emerged from the shadows, his golden eyes glowing like embers. "You've come to finish what your grandfather couldn't," he said, his voice smooth and mocking. Eli raised his violin, ready to confront him, but Silas held up a hand. There's no need for violence, boy. Join me, and I'll show you the true potential of your gift. Eli felt the pull of Silas's words, his presence overwhelming and persuasive. Malik's voice broke the spell. Don't listen to him, Eli. He's manipulating you. Silas's smile faded, replaced by a scowl. You've made your choice, he said darkly, and the room began to tremble as shadows coalesced around him. The stage erupted in golden light, signaling the start of their battle. Eli played his violin, channeling the whispers into a melody of defiance and strength. The air vibrated with each note, cutting through the oppressive darkness that Silas commanded. Silas retaliated, summoning shadowy figures that attacked with ferocity. Malik fought to protect Eli, using the flashlight to weaken the apparitions. The stage began to glow brighter, amplifying Eli's music and forcing the shadows back. Silas roared in anger, his form flickering as if unstable. You're meddling with forces you don't understand, he bellowed. Eli didn't waver, pouring his emotions into the music, driving Silas into retreat. As the shadows dissipated, the station fell silent, but Eli knew the victory was temporary. The aftermath of the battle left Eli drained, his hands trembling as he put down the violin. Malik noticed cracks forming on the instrument, a sign that the strain was taking its toll. Ms. Lila's warning echoed in Eli's mind. Every battle comes with a cost. Back home, Regina pleaded with Eli to reconsider his journey, fearing for his life. I have to see this through, Mom, Eli said, his voice steady but weary. Malik remained by his side, researching ways to strengthen Eli's defenses. Together, they uncovered a hidden composition in the journal, a melody said to sever the bridge permanently. But performing it would come at a great risk, potentially destroying Eli's connection to his gift. Regina shared a story about her father, revealing his own struggle to balance the gift and its consequences. He always said the music was a burden he carried for others, she said, tears welling in her eyes. Eli found strength in her words, realizing that his journey wasn't just about defeating Silas. It was about honoring his grandfather's legacy. Malik unearthed a record of the last time Silas had been defeated, involving a convergence of music and sacrifice. Eli began practicing the hidden composition, each note drawing him closer to understanding its power. The whispers became clearer, almost guiding him toward a resolution. But the shadows grew restless, and Silas's presence loomed ever closer. The crossroads pulsed with energy as Eli, Malik, and Regina prepared for the final confrontation. Silas appeared, his form more solid and menacing than ever, flanked by an army of shadows. You've come to destroy what you don't understand, he snarled. Eli stepped onto the stage, clutching his violin, and began playing the hidden composition. The music resonated with the station's energy, creating a barrier that kept Silas at bay. The shadows clawed at the barrier, but Malik and Regina stood firm, protecting Eli as he played. Silas's form began to fracture, his screams echoing through the station. Eli pushed through the pain, knowing this was his only chance. The final note of the composition unleashed a burst of light, engulfing Silas and his shadows. The stage cracked, and the golden energy collapsed into itself, severing the bridge between worlds. Eli collapsed, his violin shattered, and the whispers fell silent. Malik and Regina rushed to his side, their faces etched with relief and pride. Ms. Lila appeared, confirming that the bridge was closed and Silas was banished. Though Eli's connection to his gift was diminished, he felt a sense of peace for the first time. As they emerged from the crossroads, the dawn broke over Harlem, signaling a new beginning. Eli struggled to adapt to a life without the whispers, his mind quieter, but still haunted by memories. Malik encouraged him to channel his energy into teaching music to local kids, giving him a renewed sense of purpose. Regina watched as Eli slowly regained his confidence, her pride in him unwavering. The community rallied around Eli, seeing him as a beacon of resilience and hope. Eli found joy in mentoring young musicians, sharing his story as a lesson in perseverance. The cracked violin remained a reminder of his journey, displayed in their home as a symbol of triumph. Though Silas was gone, Eli couldn't shake the feeling that the battle had changed him forever. Late one night, Eli felt a presence watching him as he walked through the park. Turning, he saw nothing but the faint outline of a shadow disappearing into the trees. Malik dismissed it as paranoia, but Eli couldn't ignore the feeling. The whispers hadn't returned, but the memory of them lingered like a distant echo. Ms. Lila warned him to remain vigilant, as shadows often left traces even after being banished. Eli began composing a new piece, one that reflected his experiences and the strength he had gained. He hoped it would be a melody of closure, but deep down, he knew his story wasn't over. An opportunity arose for Eli to perform at a prestigious music festival, a chance to showcase his talent to the world. Malik urged him to take it, seeing it as a way to reclaim his love for music. Regina supported his decision but remained cautious, fearing the spotlight might awaken old threats. Eli's performance captivated the audience, his music weaving a story of struggle and triumph. As he played, he felt a faint connection to his grandfather, as if the music bridged their spirits. The applause was deafening, but Eli remained grounded, knowing his journey wasn't about fame. He resolved to use his platform to inspire others to face their fears and embrace their strengths. While mentoring a young violinist, Eli discovered that the whispers hadn't vanished entirely. The faintest echoes appeared when he played certain melodies, but they were no longer chaotic. Instead, they felt like guidance, a subtle reminder of his gift's true purpose. Ms. Lila explained that the whispers had transformed, becoming a tool for empathy rather than a curse. Eli embraced this new chapter, using his music to connect with others on a deeper level. Malik joked that Eli had become the Whisperer of Harlem, a title that made him laugh but secretly filled him with pride. The shadows were gone, but the light of his gift remained, stronger than ever. Years later, Eli stood on the stage at Marcus Garvey Park, surrounded by friends, family, and students. He played a new composition, one that honored his grandfather's legacy, while celebrating his own journey. The audience listened in rapt silence, their emotions resonating with every note. Regina and Malik stood in the front row, their faces glowing with pride. The whispers were a distant memory, replaced by a harmony that came from within. Eli had transformed his curse into a blessing, proving that even the darkest struggles could lead to light. As the final note faded, the applause erupted and Eli smiled, knowing he had finally found peace and can now start over with his life without look over his shoulder every time. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our growing channel. Your support is everything to us.